What is going on, you guys? It's your boy Uncommon Bills, and we're back with another video. I am currently working on the SRT8 right now. I'm going to show you guys what exactly I'm working on. Uh, let's just say it's kind of a headache. Completely brand new. Now, I probably should be swapping them both out, but this one was kind of like an emergency, so I went ahead and ordered one for now. I will do the rest later on. But here's the SRT8, guys. It is in the garage. I am not currently driving at the moment because the steering rod is completely shit. So, currently right now we are working on basically removing the Brembo brake and this. And then basically we're going to be pulling all this off and redoing the rod here. It's actually loose. Let me go ahead and unscrew that. It is not really a hard job, honestly. I need to figure out how I'm gonna pull this thing off, but I guess I'll figure that out once I get this off, and then I'm hoping this will not be difficult because I definitely don't think I have a tool. Let me go ahead and turn this off so this is not moving weird. Okay. Yeah. Beep, 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 beep. It's all right. You good? Okay. So we're going to basically remove this entire steering rod here. This is what I'm working on, like I said. This is already, all this has been loosed up. Sorry, guys. Let's see if I can turn my light on down here. There we go. So if you see where this rod is, not rod, but the bearing here, all that shit right there. Yeah, it's pretty much, it's done. It's got a bunch of stuff oozing out of it. I don't know what that is. It could be like oil and shit, but it's busted. If you can see that metal framing down there. Look, it's showing metal. So it is completely busted, and that's not good. Right there, see that metal? You see it? So we definitely have to replace this. If not, we're going to definitely run into some freaking issues. But luckily, like I said in my last video, I did not crash or the wheel did not fly off, which is a freaking blessing. But I'm going to go ahead and try to get the rest of this off. And basically what we're going to be doing is not only removing that. Oops, I'm in the way, sorry. Removing this bolt here. We're removing this. Well, this one's already removed over here, but we got this one, and we got a couple for the actual brakes, which I'm going to go ahead and knock those out real quick. Which you see that one right here. If I can point to it with the camera. Sorry, right here. If y'all can see if it'll focus. We're going to take this off, and there's a second one that's up here. Well, I'll get my drift. That's right here. So I'm going to go ahead and take that off. All right, we got that shumbie off. So it's really simple on how to take this off. I'm gonna go ahead and remove that. I'm gonna let this hang here for just a second. You gotta be careful with this. If you're taking that back piece off, don't let that just fall. Make sure you grab it, wiggle it loose, and then kind of like gently place it because you still got that brake line there. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this. The roll does. Oh, that bitch is heavy. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this, and this actually does sound really, really good. So I don't need to replace this piece. So basically it's just this steering rod, and I don't have to change out any of the bearings. Now I just got to figure out how I'm going to take this thing off. So I'm not really sure how that is going to work. I'll have to maybe look at another video here real quick. This is basically how I learn and teach myself how to do things on my cars. This is basically how I learn and do these things to help me save money. So obviously I do not know how to remove that knuckle joint. So I'm going to look it up here. Basically everything on YouTube. I'm going to hit search. It says how to remove a steering knuckle or spindle. So I'm pretty sure a majority of
these cars. Let's go ahead and fast forward through this. I just need to know how to actually take that middle piece off. That's it.
Easy. Real nice tool to have.
Okay, so I definitely don't have one of those, so I'm gonna have to go buy one of those. So 36 mm is the same as half. This was actually like $25, man, just for this one thing. That's freaking crazy. Let's go. Damn. Hey. Damn. Just like that, the bitch came off, cuz. Not that bad, guys. So I know that this spindle right here is actually in really good condition, so I don't have to worry about replacing this. This is pretty dirty there, but that's not the bad part. The bad part is basically this entire knuckle here. So I'm going to finish taking this off. These pieces here, I think that's part of the lines for the, I'm pretty sure that is. I just got to tap that. I'm just going to tap that a little bit to push that out. But that's one of the brake lines. It's just holding right here in the back. So I'll go ahead and have to take that out. And then basically it should be easy. Should not be anything difficult. So brace back here. Same thing with this little line back here. Just make sure you guys remove that, so that way it's not in your way. So there's actually a couple bolts that actually go on the back side of this that actually hold this little brace up if you have an SRT8. I'm pretty sure there might be some on some other type of cars or whatever, but you just want to make sure that you unscrew those. They actually look like this. They're really small, but they are easy to come off. What is this? This is a 10. So we all know how this 10 is. Every one of us has probably lost one of these. So they do come off with the 10 wrench. So I'm going to basically continue. If you had all the tools that you needed, it wouldn't take this long, but I didn't. And then I ran into some more issues. So if we look at the ball joint down here, that's bad. I have to replace that. It's completely unbeaded around there, and it's not supposed to be like that. So I definitely have to change that out. This one as well has, see if y'all can see that. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but look at that nick right there. There's a big ass hole right there in that, so that's actually torn. And then this one, the original one that was basically taken out, is this one right here. Look at that. Flapping like loose skin. Completely damaged. This is the only good one, which is here. So this is actually taking, this took longer than what it was supposed to. But again, I had to stop yesterday because I ran into more problems and saw that these were all damaged. And I went to go pick these parts up today. And now we're back to basically finish the job. This part is gone. We pretty much have gotten the whole entire knuckle loose, except for this ball joint up here, which I'll end up smacking that. But this is the difficult piece here. So down here, there's a nut. And where's my tool at? I'm trying to do this as best as I can. Basically, this nut right here, it's basically part of your control arm. This is your alignment too on top of that. So you don't want to twist it too much, just a little bit. Now, I will say this, if it is rusted and corroded like this is, kind of, I used a little bit of WD-40 to kind of break this up a little bit. What you don't want to do is you don't want to go too much, because then you're going to throw your alignment off. So we're going to tighten this back up just a little bit, not too tight, but just enough to where I can still get this part loose. Okay, so now I'm going to unscrew this, put this down, I'm going to pull this ball joint out, and now this is actually able to basically move freely. So when you are pulling this out to keep your measurement, you are going to count how many spins it takes to take this off. Now, yes, you can count the spins, and then also you want to keep that nut in that same place. And then we're going to measure the new tie rod with the old existing one. So what is this? So that's 1. It's 2, 3. We've got the tie rod off now. Now we're going to basically measure it with the brand new one. So I'm going to go ahead and open this. So this is the new one. This is the old one. You can see the difference big time and how messed up this old one is. Like I said, that's really bad. And the ball joint cushion should not look like this, and it's leaking really bad. Another thing. So we're only changing the tie rod, right? We're not changing this because this is actually not bad at all. Now, if this thing was kind of like, if you could like completely like wiggle this thing around and it was loose and was making weird noises, you would have to replace this as well. But luckily I don't have to, so that's great. And we're going to be using the old nut because the thicker this is, the better it is because it holds better to vibration, or pretty much it's just vibration when the car is moving and all that. It doesn't come loose. So we're going to go ahead and put this on, and then we're going to move on to installing this and hopefully trying to get this ball joint right here. You see that one up there? If it'll focus, take that one out. After some trial and error, I decided to go ahead and just pretty much take out the entire suspension piece from the upper control arm to the knuckle to the lower control arms. It was giving me a headache to try to get this piece off, so I went ahead and just took it off, and I went ahead and got the last piece so that we can go ahead and finish this up. And then after the car meet in October, I will pretty much do the exact same thing on the other side. Here's the new knuckle right here. As you can see how clean that looks. And the other parts, this is the other one, the other lower control arm. And then this is basically the upper control arm. And then I already replaced that piece down there. And now I'm just basically going to reassemble everything. I will say this actually wasn't as difficult as I thought it was. The control arm rods, not rods, but the screws are actually up here at the top. So if I would have thought about this yesterday, this transition and the swap out would have been so much smoother and so much quicker. And I know I would have got it done in one day. But again, this is my first time ever doing this. And now I know what to do on the other side once I put this and get this assembled. Let's go ahead and open this up. So rule of thumb, whenever you're buying new parts, you want to make sure that your parts are similar, or if it's a performance piece, that the lengths actually match up with your originals. Now this is, you can see how bad this is, right? Compared to the new one that's actually in here. This is really bad. And I know the other side is pretty much just as corroded. So we will change that later on, like I said. But looking at this, we're gonna match these up, and they are pretty much the same size, and we should be good. And then I'll use the bolt off of this one. But all these are pretty much bad, and that's the reason why I went ahead and wanted to swap all of these knuckles out, because they're all bad. If and when you are working on your car, guys, you have to have patience. If I would have figured that I could have just taken this whole thing out within like 10-20 minutes and done it all in one day, I would. But I'm just learning this just like anybody else watching this video. And like I said, now I know what to do on that side, which won't take me as long as it did trying to figure this out. But it is definitely frustrating. It is going to be a freaking headache, but you got to be patient. If you are doing this yourself, whatever you do, when you are going in to lock in your upper control arm, do not tighten these bolts all the way down just yet, because if you are completely doing your suspension
which is the knuckle and all the other rods. If you tighten this up, there's going to be so much compression in this that you're not ready to lift that up by yourself. I don't care how strong you think you are, but it'll make the job a lot easier to not lock those bolts in 100% until you get everything basically assembled and sitting upright, and you're not fighting with trying to pretty much lift this, because this thing will fight you. And I'm telling you right now, that shit it's tough. But I did not tighten mine down for that reason. So we're going to go ahead and install the brand new knuckle, and we should be good to go and to basically fix and put everything else back together the way it was. All right, so the new knuckle is in, the new upper control arm is in, the lower control arm is in, the new brand. You can tell the difference between the old one and the new ones. And then the tie rod, brand new tie rod, is in. I didn't need to change this out or that, so thank God with that, because I don't have the tool for that. But before we go ahead and tighten everything down, we want to make sure that all our bolts are here. I did have an extra bolt, but I figured out where it went. So this one goes here, and then the other ones came with their own extra bolts. Make sure you are checking that you have all your bolts in place before you lock everything down, so you don't have to come back and repeat your steps. So I've got my bolt there, I've got my bolt there, I've got my new bolts here, and my new bolt there, and my new bolt there. If it'll focus. If not, okay, well, whatever. And then we'll get the spindle on and all that kind of stuff. But pretty much the suspension is replaced 100%. Everything is pretty much new, so it's got a new suspension. Only on the driver's side. I will do the other side later. Now that all of the bolts are pretty much screwed down, that's tight, that's tight. I hand tighten a lot of these, and then I hit them with the torque wrench. Not torque wrench, but with the, put some more torque on that with your handy dandy heart tool, power tools that you can buy at your local Walmart, and I believe Home Depot, I think. But these are basically locked in tight, and we are getting ready. I'm actually getting ready to put the brake caliper back on. I don't think you guys need to see me do that. It pretty much goes right here. It's pretty simple. And then basically hang my lines back up, you know, where they came from. So that's really it. It's not really that hard. If you are changing out your full suspension, I would recommend, if your car needs a new ball joint, to check all your ball joints. Because like if your car's like mine, like a 2007 or older, and you see a tear or anything, like a leak or anything in there, that's that grease or that oil that they put inside these. So that way those ball joints don't seize up, and it also keeps the dirt and debris and water and all that out of them. Because otherwise you're going to have some serious problems. But I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of this on. That is going to be it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys learned something from this. I know I did. This is my first time doing this, and I actually did a pretty good job. Now, in about a few weeks, I'll do the other side. I think I will just order those, so I'm not in a rush, because that side was not damaged. So we're basically going to continue what we did here on the other side in another video. Probably not, because you already see me do this. But that is going to be it, guys, for the video. See you on the next one. See you when I see you. Peace.